Hey, what's up, everyone? My name's Lionel, and I'm your host for LT Productions, and you are watching I Watch You Watch. Today, we are covering Beyond the Gates. This is... don't know what episodes these are. I've been missing for 3 weeks. I do apologize. But it's March, and I'm back. It was my birthday, and I missed 1 week, and then was going to catch up and just never did. But birthday behavior is over. But I appreciate everyone for coming. Please like this video. You can also subscribe. You can also leave your comments below. Now let's get into this week's episodes. All right, y'all. So some stuff is happening. I think a lot of little plot points here were happening that were kind of enjoyable. We start off with Joey, possibly. We'll see. At lunch to celebrate their first anniversary, this is Bill and Haley. Bill presents Haley with her favorite gift, money. After all, paper is the proper gift for a first anniversary, is it? I haven't been married, so. Danny approaches and congratulates them in the least sincere way possible. Now, she dresses up in the same attire that she came to her wedding in, where we know the iconic scene where she does point a gun and shoots it off. This low-key freaks everyone, including the newly arrived Andre, out by reaching into her purse. Clearly they worry that she's going to point a GUN again. Instead, she too has a paper gift. Tissue. To show how disposable their relationship is, I wish Danny would let it go. Do I think Bill deserves everything that he's getting? Yes. Look, leave it alone. Please leave it alone. I think she said something, I don't know if she says it here, but she said something about, like, I don't redo the same things, like the same outfit, nor, what is it? Oh, what? I don't repeat felonies. That's what it was. Bill takes Haley to Joey's casino so she can try to turn his gift into bigger jackpot. Things get awkward for them and entertaining for us when Joey calls Sammy in to deal cards for the fair. It becomes clear that Joey set this up so he could watch Randy and Haley interact and get a better idea of what's going on between them. And I think that was a great idea. Anita is getting ready to start the next strong round of chemotherapy, and that has her fearing that she might not win her battle with cancer. Ashley, who is starting her oncology rotation, is there to help Anita as she prepares. By the time Vernon enters, Anita has donned an ice cap designed to help reduce hair loss by lowering the scalp's temperature during the treatment. I never knew that was possible, so I'm learning new things, as well as probably you are too. I have a little special note here. Virginia, this is a real treatment, though rarely, if ever, been demonstrated, especially on soaps. Proving the best husband ever, Vernon is right there by her side for the entire treatment. Never once letting her see that he's as scared as she is. Over lunch, Kat catches Naomi up on her issues with Chelsea. Now, I did see that fight. And people are like, Kat this, Kat that. First and foremost, Kat and Chelsea are sisters. They're going to fight. The end game is that they're going to always be sisters. So why are we up in arms about it? Because it's not that serious. Kat says she's moving out. Chelsea says it's no big deal. You can still stay there. She's like, well, I can read the room, and I know that eventually the inevitable is that I'm going to have to find my own place. And it got really nasty for no reason, but it was Kat. That's the problem. But Chelsea is the one that got really upset at first. And then Kat was being itched back. If y'all saw something totally different, I'm open to hearing. Y'all know I'm seeing Kat over here, but we can have a healthy dialogue if you saw something else. Kat suggests that she move in with Naomi while Jacob's on assignment. But by the end of their conversation, not to mention a similar one Chelsea has with Danny and Andre, it looks as if the Chelsea Kat ladies may be on the road to a reunion. I promise you, this wasn't going to be something that detrimental where they can't get back to each other. Just imagine what probably Danny and Nicole were. We are getting the 40 to 50-year-old version of sisters. You've seen how they have fought. And I'm sure they used to fight a whole lot worse than what we're seeing now on screen. It's not, to me, I never took it as serious and deep like that. Now, we have a new character. Her name is Monica. She's an oncologist. A meeting with Smitty, but also has a conversation with Naomi. It turns out that Monica, the oncologist Naomi met last week, is not only Smitty's friend, but Shanice's auntie. I said, oh. We also learned that Shanice has brothers and sisters, whom hopefully we get to meet them too. But I'm glad right now that there's a lot of branches that are unfolding, where we're starting to develop different layers of these characters that have been around for a year. While Shanice works, Ted goes for coffee with Monica, who grills him about everything, including him working with both his ex-wife and new girlfriend. Ted vows that should things go south in his relationship, he, not Shanice, will leave. Likely by popular demand, as everyone knows that she runs the hospital, Monica is duly impressed, saying that he might even be able to win over her nephews. Ooh, okay. Now, I don't think that they actually said this, but Monica, she's an actress who used to play on As the World Turns. I don't know that much about her, but she was the sister to Tamara Tooney, who plays Anita. There is a scene, I don't think I saw it, where they did talk and meet up. I said, okay, that's cool that they actually had them meet up, but they were sisters on As the World Turns, and I think that was Tamara Tooney's first run, because she had her first run, I think, in like the 80s, and then she came back in the late 90s, 2000s, which I remember seeing her on. Of course, I've seen her on SVU, Law and Order, and other things over the years. But yeah. Tomas joins Eva at Orphanage's, with her hoping to find out what Isaiah is in for during his get-together with her dad. Tomas admits that Ted was tough but fair. They're interrupted by Leslie, as is her way, who chases Tomas off, before revealing that to Eva that she is why Isaiah and they're interrupted by Leslie, as is her way, who chases Tomas off before revealing to Eva that she is why Isaiah and Ted are getting together. Eva's not really having it. It becomes downright suspicious of her mama's motives when Leslie urges her daughter to lock Isaiah down into marriage ASAP. Why? I really wish I understood Leslie's logic and the stuff that she does. Everything comes down to just a man. Locking down a man. You were just saying lock down Tomas. And you were even encouraging your girl to fight after he even did what he did to her and to Kat. You're weird. Eva realizes that the reason Leslie is pushing so hard is because the rest of Isaiah's family are in law enforcement. Meaning, if they get the in-laws to help them cover up her crap, then that'll be good. With Kat once again asking questions, she comes into Orphanage's. Leslie obviously hopes having them as members of her extended family might be helpful. But Eva says that she'll make Leslie pay if she screws things up with her. Remember, Mama, you taught me everything I know about revenge. I wonder if we're going to see any of that later on this year. I would like to see something happen because I don't even understand why Eva and Leslie are still this close. Ted, having arranged a meeting with Isaiah on the basketball courts, Ted winds up inviting Carlton to join them. The men exchange powerful banter and wind up running into Kyle. The next thing we know, all three of Nicole's guys are heading for the courts. In the locker room after the game, Carlton and Kyle get into it verbally. That was kind of immature of both of them. I would expect this out of like 20-year-olds. It's just crazy. Kyle accuses his fellow doc of playing dirty, and Carlton says that his rival isn't the good guy he claims to be. Just then, Carlton gets a call from Nicole asking him out to dinner. He has to turn her down because of a previous commitment, all of which happens in front of Kyle. And Kyle's like, she called you? My God, grow up. Later, Andre warns Carlton that he and Kyle are going to push Nicole away with their macho posturing. It's crazy. Now, people online, and I feel like the reason that they're rooting for Nicole and Carlton to be together is because Carlton's black. Because I still find Carlton to be a weird guy. Now they're trying to dress it up. Oh, Carlton's so understanding. He's this, but then he wants to play this, two could play this game also. And look, you can go on and have your dates. You're not having any dates. You're just now putting Nicole on ice when you want to teach her a lesson, to say that you're going to miss me when I'm gone, so you better grab me while you can. You're playing this game, and it's just like, okay. I just don't understand this urgency to lock down a woman who is newly divorced, that hasn't been divorced for a year, and you want her to be your main girl. That's why you just look so weird to me, especially as someone wanted to be with his best friend's wife, ex-wife. It's weird to me. Later, meanwhile, Ted and Isaiah retreat to the bar and talk all things Eva. Leslie and what the younger man's intentions. Ted even gives Isaiah a heads up that Leslie is already referring to him as her future son-in-law. And what Leslie wants, she gets one way or the other. Okay. Bill has got brain on the mind, or a baby on the mind. Bill suggests that it's time that he and Haley consider trying for a baby again. She starts spinning one excuse after another to postpone the conversation. She promises that once they've been cleared by their doctors, they can continue their efforts. I thought you were cleared. They just told you to wait for a certain amount of time, if I remember. But that's been months, and it's time. Bill can't talk about anything but the baby, suggesting Haley should have an island baby. And she suggests staying there permanently. Tomas enters with an update on Lynette's case. He says that while doing a deeper dive, he found something interesting. Or rather, he found next to nothing. He reports that she has almost no presence on the internet. And Bill seems not to be bothered by this. And Haley completely overreacts when Tomas asks if she knows anything about Lynette. Yeah. Has she only made Tomas more suspicious of her relationship with Lynette? Probably. Bill says it's probably best that there's not a lot of stuff to track her, and it's a good thing. It's just that Bill hasn't put two and two together about what this Lynette person is to Miss Haley. Haley has no traction anywhere, but all of a sudden showing up and then taking someone's husband. And that's weird. How come you've never really checked her background at all? Or have you? I don't know. Well, we don't know it, at least on camera. Vanessa and Nicole are catching up over drinks when Leslie crashes the party. Words are exchanged, but it turns out Leslie isn't there to clash with Nicole. Instead, she wants Vanessa to use her connections to set up a press conference in which she can announce the clinic's opening date. After kind of sort of securing what she was after, Leslie leaves, much to Nicole's relief. If y'all noticed, the whole conversation and gripe that Nicole had with Vanessa is the same gripe that Kat has had forever and a day. But you've been pretending like you've been letting it go, and you're so high and above it, Nicole, and making Kat look like a lunatic. Like, these writers are sometimes can just be like, what are y'all doing? Because y'all making Kat look like a lunatic and so crazy, but then you got Mom on the side acting and talking another way. And it's cool to vent, but don't act like Kat is just insane for how she feels and how she operates towards the enemy. Vanessa presses her gal pal to ask one of the men in her life out so that they can go on a double date. This leads to the aforementioned call that Carlton received in the locker room. Nicole demurs when Vanessa suggests that she called Kyle about the date. But just then, the handsome doctor calls Vanessa, asking for a favor. So, the next day, not the day, but the next episode, Haley tries talking to Bill and Thomas about handling Lynette's case, but her husband has a one-track mind, and it's on the baby train. And not for nothing, but he wants said baby to be their male heir. Haley says that she's worried about possibly another miscarriage and disappointing her hubby. She then applies high-pressure techniques in an effort to get Bill to take Lynette's case and get it dropped, even using their potential baby. Grayson arrives to do more blood work on Bill while Haley exits. She later arrives in Uptown where Chelsea and Madison see her meeting and bickering with Randy. And Madison knows that she's seen him before but can't quite place where. Meanwhile, Bill's at his office calling someone and asking them to make Lynette's case go away. And what was going on is Haley was griping to Randy that Bill wants a baby, blah, 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 blah. She's out here just crashing out over nothing. And Randy's like, it's gonna be cool. You just need to stick to the plan. Da, 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 da. But anyways, with Kyle, picking up from yesterday's episode, Kyle tells Vanessa that he wants to sign a lease for up to a year on a condo that she showed him. Vanessa packs up drinking buddy Nicole and takes her to the club for a celebratory drink with the hunky doctor. Kyle and Nicole discuss how serious they are or aren't, agreeing to continue to move at her pace. Ironically, even as Kyle is telling Nicole that he's not trying to wife her like Carlton is, and that's what he's doing. And then I'm gonna get on him because I find this so much more weird. Please tell me y'all do too, but if you don't, it's fine. Carlton goes over to Anita and Vernon's house, and he's asking for a permission to date his daughter. And Vernon's response was just a laugh. And then when Carlton seen that he was laughing, he said, like he was joking, you asked for his hand to start dating. Sir, for one, y'all done shared DNA, you done hunched, you done pinned her up against the wall, and now you want to ask for a date with your 40 to 50-year-old self? Stop it. Off advice from Vernon. Oh, so he tries to get some, I think, whatever happened. I feel like he was trying to win some cool points by trying to offer his services to Anita and all that stuff. And I felt like it was ingenuine. It was all to try to win Nicole. And Vernon says that you have been pining for this girl for a lifetime. And nobody seems to think that that's crazy. Your bestie's wife. He was weird. That is so weird. Off the advice from Vernon, he gave some advice. Of course, Vernon did say how he pursued Anita. He had to be patient and wait. I think she was also pursuing someone else at the time, and he just kept showing up when she wanted him there. And eventually, he won her over. Carlton leaves Nicole a message saying that he wants to see her, after he already said that he had prior engagement when she asked him out. First, he was giving all suggestions on what he wanted to do and said, scratch that. Tell me what you want to do. Still seems weird. But anyways, while he's leaving a message, she's getting her back cracked again. He says he hopes that she's having a good night. She is, in the same bed that you were in. After overhearing that Madison is conducting her Parkinson's research at Garland Memorial, Ashley gets excited. Clearly, she's hoping to get Grayson's ailing mom into the program. And Ash later tells Grayson, who actually apologizes for how he's behaved towards her in the past. They share a close moment, which Leah, the chief of staff, yeah, that's another new character that showed up in February, notices. And I actually like how she showed up. I know now she's looking suspicious. She approaches Grayson to accuse him of fraternizing at work, growing serious. Grayson says that it won't be a problem. So it seems like there's a connection between Leah and Grayson. Is that what y'all were picking up too? Elsewhere, Vernon sits with Chelsea to catch up and discuss not only Anita's health, but the recent rift between Chelsea and Kat. Vernon suggests that Kat will be fine. She just needs to know that Chelsea is still her person. As his granddaughter is leaving, then that's when Carlton arrives. He's got scotch for Vernon and ginger candies for Anita to help with the vomiting or the feeling of vomiting. That's when Carlton suggests that once Anita undergoes surgery, he would be honored to be a part of the recovery team, meaning plastic surgery if she needs to get something done as far as with her boobs and stuff. He said, well, not sure if Anita will want to use Ted, and I'm just offering my services. Why don't you just wait until that time comes? Because so far they've called Ted to show up and to be there for Anita. And Martin already said that I'll be here. I just don't understand why you are inserting yourself in that way. I think that you should have still mentioned it to Nicole. Like, I would like to go over to your parents' home and just offer this, da-da-da-da-da. She might have been cool with it and maybe not cool with it. Now, if she finds out about what you did, I gotta see how Nicole takes it. Just saying. As Haley and Randy heated discussion continues, she has no interest in having Bill's baby and is considering doing a cut and run. Chelsea and Madison watch from a nearby booth. deciding her dad would be upset if she didn't intervene. Just being nosy. Chelsea approaches their table. After practically shoving Randy out the door, Haley tells Chelsea that she was looking to hire Sammy for a private job. Chelsea asks if the guy's a hitman, leaving this fake outrage Haley to ask why anyone would think that she could take another person's life. All I can tell you is this: I will never root for Haley, but she did a phenomenal job in this episode. No, she says that she wants Sammy to be her bodyguard. Haley fakes a meltdown in order to stop questioning and prompting Chelsea to take her to Bill's office. What she did is that she started manipulating Chelsea by using her trauma with Allison. And I think that was a smart move. You know, people online were like, oh no, she should have been more smarter than that. She should have picked that up. No, she wouldn't have. She hit her at a soft spot. She gambled on it. We didn't know that Chelsea was even still dealing with this whole Allison situation. But then, in turn, it triggered Chelsea, and it also gave her compassion for Haley. I saw nothing wrong at what Haley was doing as far as with her manipulations. Of course, I'll never root for her, but she did a good job. Bill explains to Tomas how he got the charges dropped against Lynette by calling in a few favors from highly placed friends. Bill also makes a point of putting Thomas to the test where Kat is concerned. What he's saying, how you got to make the right connections, and you can also help. You can use Kat as a way to gain all of these relationships through the wife. Sometimes with some of the colleagues that he'll have, you know, or not colleagues, clients. That's it. Bill says that she may have issues with him, but he's always considered her a part of his family. And he says that he's going to continue to test Thomas to see if he's going to have the same response when he asks certain things, and wanting to know his intentions towards his niece. Because he did talk about, okay, are y'all moving in together? He said, no, we're not, because of Kat's position where it's not really a free of choice of trying to really move in with me. It's more of ooh, I know I got it. I have to move in with you. It's not a free. It's not like I want to be with you. It's just like I have no choice. I guess I should move in with you, and that's not how he wants to move. Later on, Haley's arrival. Upon Haley's arrival, he feels guilty for not having seen how stressed and upset she's been because she hasn't. She promises to be better about communicating, then begs that they leave town for St. Bart's immediately. I don't know why they didn't do it in the first place. I've not heard of paper money for a first anniversary, but whatever. Now, probably the gag of the week is Leslie versus Vanessa. Vanessa tells Joey that she has a surprise for him, and it's G-rated, because they always have to have sex. They're going on a fully clothed double date. His reaction was, you lost me at fully clothed, and other people. Before she could tell him much more, Leslie waltzes in after pushing all of Vanessa's buttons. Don't get your panties in a bunch, Nessa. If you're wearing any, I said, Lord Jesus. Leslie brings up the aborted press conference, and Joey points out that she's a polarizing figure who probably shouldn't be the face of the project. In fact, she thinks Derek should be the person who makes the announcement. Meanwhile, Eva takes a meeting with Derek about the clinic. They come up with great ways to distribute information to their key audience, who may not have access to the internet. And I think that is great. The show is addressing issues like food, lack of food, and internet access among low-income households, and doing so in a way that doesn't feel like a PSA. Much to Derek's displeasure, Vanessa brings Leslie into the dinner to pitch him on being the spokesperson. Derek, reluctant, but does agree. Leslie and Vanessa get into it, which could only be called an epic verbal showdown. Now, something that was mentioned on social media about why are all these white people able to just read Leslie down, but the black folks got to take the high road and always got to back down to her. Writers, don't do that. But what do y'all think about that? Derek and Eva come between them, and everyone gets back on track, on the same page for the sake of the clinic. When Randy returns to the casino, he gets an earful from Joey, who wants to know where he was and why he didn't prevent Leslie from barging in. Having heard Chelsea tell Haley she still thinks about what happened with Allison, Madison asks if her soon-to-be bride is okay. Madison suggests that Chelsea find a way to process therapy, whether it's through medication or therapy. I mean, it's cool that they talked about it, but I wonder if Allison is going to show up. We got May Sweeps coming along, so I wonder if Allison could show up. But I don't even know if Sweeps is still a thing, because the rating system is totally different now. As Naomi is worrying about Jacob, her undercover hubby is telling Ren that he's ready for more responsibilities. Jacob finds that his latest pickup is going to be at Garland Memorial. Oof. Jacob calls Smitty, who happens to be hanging with Naomi at Orphan Jeans, to set up a meeting pronto. Once they get together in the alley, Jacob catches Smitty up before heading off for his meeting. While Smitty was talking with Naomi, she was like, Monica's a great person that you could talk to, or if you need to talk to someone else instead of carrying all this stuff. Naomi kind of pushes back like, oh, so you really in tune with what I got going on? Yeah, it's written all over your face, Naomi, while you're trying to carry on all the burdens of the world. You are the Anita of 2026. I still don't understand when you got a lot of family members that will be there for you. But you think that you are saving people from worrying for you and just focusing their energy on Anita while you just could end up getting a stroke. But whatever. I don't know, just Naomi bothers me because she would not tolerate it from anyone else if they were like this. At the hospital, Jacob steps into the designated elevator and waits for the drop. After it's made, the camera pans up and we see that the Garland Memorial employee supplying the plasma is Grayson. He had gotten on the elevator and basically there was this exchange. You weren't supposed to see each other's faces. It was just supposed to be in and out type of situation. Now, I guess it's the thing is if Grayson is the bad guy or is he just forced to do this? I don't know, but we shall see. Tamara Tooney acted her tail off in this scene. Anita is in rough shape following her latest round of chemo, but an unexpected arrival of Tracy puts a smile on her face. She didn't want to see anyone because she got a lot of stuff. Look, yesterday she couldn't even get out of bed. Today she was able to at least get downstairs and sit on the couch. But things quickly turned serious with Anita admitting the fight is much harder than she could have anticipated. Anita breaks down, admitting that she's angry about her body turning against her. And yes, Tamara Tooney deserves an Emmy. Look, that was bringing tears to me because I know a lot of people deal with that when they're dealing with cancer. Oh, Sharon says, Tracy says her friend is still the girl who fought her way from Cabrini Green to Fairmont Crest. Anita says that even on her worst day, she never forgets how fortunate she is. Sharon says that once Anita is up to performing, she should give a concert at which any woman who gets a screening in the mobile unit outside of the arena receives a free ticket. While unsure she'll be ready, Anita vows to give the performance of her life. Returning early from the campaign trail, Martin is caught up on recent events with Samantha, and June manages to get Naomi to open up a bit about what's going on in her life. With help from Ashley, Derek gets a meeting with the hospital administrator and chief of staff, Leah. She tries blowing him off at first, but upon hearing his pitch, is more willing to form a partnership between the hospital and the clinic. So you think that Leah sparked up knowing that this could be a potential place where she can get more plasma? I do believe that she's a part of the plasma ring, but who knows? Either she's a part of it or she could be the head kahuna of this whole situation, but we shall see. But that was this week's episodes. Not too much, but it was enough for me. So, yeah, Carlton remains a weirdo. Now, y'all say that Kyle is, and he's just saying to Nicole what she wants to hear. But we don't know anything about Kyle to make it seem like his intentions are off. He already said that because Nicole asked, "Are you moving here for me?" And he said no. He says where he's actually moving at, which is in Fairmont Crest. It's a place where he's quite mobile to the different hospitals that he does. I don't think he volunteers, but at least he works at. He rotates a lot of he rotates his schedule around different hospitals. For me, and maybe I'm just biased, I can admit that I don't see anything wrong with Kyle as of yet. Even though the internet wants something to be wrong and everything to be right with Kyle. Sorry. But that's just it. But y'all tell me what y'all thought of these week's episodes. Next week is going to be so juicy because guess who's in town now? Deanna. And I've been waiting for her to come and snatch the roots out of Vanessa because she deserves it. Donnell was too, He was too nice. He backed off way too soon. And it's time for Vanessa to get hell for this whole situation, for all of this. Tell me what y'all think. I appreciate everyone for coming. Like, comment, subscribe. Until the next video. Peace.